All right, so you've got two kinds of valves. Here's your old one. You turn the handle, it screws down and closes the gate in the bottom. You can see how turning it, maybe you can, I don't know. You can see how it raised, and then you screw it in, and you keep on screwing it, and it seals that gasket inside. All right. So basically, what happens with these valves is that rubber gasket inside fails, and there's also gaskets in here that fail and it starts to leak from the handle. So to fix that, it's as much work as just replacing the valve, because you still have to turn off the water. Excuse me. You still have to turn off the water, remove the stem, take that piece out. Hopefully you have the right pieces. The stem might be broken. It's just not worth it. So what you do is you replace it with one of these. This is a ball valve angle stop, and you see how it just turns a brass ball inside. See that slot? So now it's off and it's on. So just a quarter turn valve. It's a much more reliable valve. So, a lot of videos will tell you to cut the copper off when you're replacing the two types. But you don't always have enough pipe coming out of the wall. You can use the old compression. So this is how these things work. So you slide the compression nut on the copper. This is the compression ring. Right? You slide it onto the copper. My copper is kind of dirty. Let me try the other end. You slide the nut. You slide the ring. Right? Then you put the valve on all the way in. See how that copper goes inside? And then you tighten this nut. And what happens is, when you tighten this nut with wrenches, and you'll want to choose wisely with your wrenches. Something like this has teeth on it, so it's going to scratch the finish. So you want to use a smooth wrench. So you put that on there. All right. You want to make sure you hold the valve too. And you tighten this on up. It's kind of hard to do while I'm looking in the camera and stuff, but basically you tighten this as tight as you can. I've actually got this tool that I can stick in there. Alright, you tighten it right up. So now what that's done is it compressed that ring inside against the into the copper. So the seal of this thing, sorry, you see now this ring is compressed into the copper, right? So a lot of people will put thread sealant here, but you don't. And just by the way, you have two terms for threads. You have male thread fittings. This is male threads. You can see inside this nut is female. See, there's another female threads, right? So just in case we're referring to male and female threads later. So what you have right now is your old valve. This nut and this ring are the same thing on your old one as it will be on the new one. So when you get your new valve, you're just not going to use this piece and this piece. You're just going to use this piece, right? So your old valve is on there, and it's compressed on there. So you just grab this, loosen this nut, take the old one off. Now look, this ring has been compressed to fit the old valve. So the best way to make sure this doesn't leak with the new valve is to use some thread sealant. Now whenever you're choosing your products, you've got to look at the labels. It's rated. These are rating labels, and they explain. My can is dirty, I'm sorry, but you can look up these signs if you want. If it doesn't have any of these labels, then it's not approved for plumbing. You'll find on the front it's all multi-purpose. It's for, it does say on here that it's for potable water systems, so you can use this also on gas piping. Now whenever you're applying thread sealant, if it's a paste or Teflon tape, you only put any thread sealant on male fittings. You never put sealant inside female fittings. So when it is time to do something like that, always make sure it's on the male. So in this particular situation, what you're going to do is take a little bit of this stuff and just put it on the end of the copper right in front of this ring, just like this, just a little bit, okay? Because where the seal is made is right here, right inside this rim. The compression nut, this nut tightens onto these threads, and it makes this ring seal on the inside rim, and that's where your seal is made. But you see how that little bit of thread paste will help make that seal a little bit more secure when you tighten this on. And you tighten it as tight as you can. When you turn off your water, your main water, you make sure that you turn it off at the meter, because your main shutoff in the house may be the same type as this thing. And what'll happen is if you turn one of these old valves off, a lot of times that stem breaks or the gasket breaks, or something breaks inside, and then it won't turn back on again. But the valve at the street is the same as this thing. It's a brass ball, so it won't fail on you, so you can rely on it. This thing will last forever. You won't have to worry about that. So this Rector Seal here is an approved plumbing product that you can use. Never use petroleum products on anything. You don't need it on anything in your house. No WD-40, no oil. Whenever you're lubricating plumbing products, you can use waterproof grease, which is silicone based. There are plumbing lubricants. If you're lubricating locks or door hinges, use graphite powder, but there is no use for any petroleum products or WD-40 in the house in any application. So just letting you know that. I hope this helps, and I've been doing this stuff a long time, so the information I'm providing is accurate and it should help you out. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.